This is Lori Latman, Director of Worship and Music here at Crosswinds, and you have been experiencing one of 10 virtual choir videos that we produced over the last year. You see, as COVID safety recommendations went into place and changed from very restrictive physical distancing to a hybrid model, to in-person, back to restrictive, and so on, and so on, and so on, our church staff chased a moving target. We anticipated changes. We tried not to moan and groan about what we couldn't do to engage folks in worship, but instead constantly asked ourselves, what can we do? And we discovered with the team approach, we could do a lot. We continued producing online worship, recording worship moments at home, the worship team changing out the communion table decorations, masked musicians coming in to sing and play instruments, and Rachel and Michelle editing and editing and editing the pieces together. And Nancy played on. Heeding the advice of Charles Wesley with a twist, the choir adopted this motto: do all the singing you can, by all the virtual means you can, in all the musical ways you can, in all the sheltering places you can, at all the unconventional times you can, to all the faithful people you can, as long as ever you can. The choir, along with friends from as far away as Georgia and Michigan, began recording virtual worship anthems, sometimes using as many as 4 phones at a time. Tim, Roger, Jason, Roger, Michelle, Roger. Oh, did I mention Roger? Put in hours editing them. And I mean hours. But all were getting weary. In May, Roger spoke up. Is this the last one of these we're doing? I sure hope so, I replied. And Nancy played on while Michelle and Rachel edited. We assembled 60 Advent wreath kits and distributed them. Families came in to record candlelighting liturgy at Advent. And Nancy played on while Michelle and Rachel edited. We produced a Carol Around the Campfire event in the parking lot. Nancy played inside while Mary, Gary, Scott, and Michelle sang outside. Fire builders hauled outdoor fire pits from home and people sang from their cars. Amber and I led a team to produce a Christmas Eve musical on a truck bed in the parking lot, including recorded narration, live actors, costumes, recorded music by adults, kids choir, kids bell choir, and virtual choir. Sadly, the weather was not on our side. A wild, windy storm and historic below freezing temperatures blew away the event that Ann and Jay so lovingly had assembled, and we were left with a stable torn apart lying in the snow. And yes, another worship video. And Nancy played on while Michelle and Rachel edited. As the demand for online worship experiences continued, Pastor Mike went on the road recording worship moments. Mike was quite the preacher about town, as he told stories about his growing up, his faith formation, and shared with us the places that were meaningful to him. Sometimes there were too many people, dogs, and too much wind in the audio, but that just added to the charm of the times. And Wind of the Spirit played on, while Roger and Michelle kept editing videos. We were getting anxious to begin worship in person, so we planned some monthly Sunday evening evensong services too. At first, we limited attendance to 30 people, did prayer, music, and communion. But soon they too had to be canceled, as we had to again limit social interaction. And Nancy played on, while Michelle and Rachel edited. As Lent approached, it was clear we would continue to be making videos, so the team assembled and handed out Lent in a bag, object lessons that would tie in with online services. We distributed palms for kids to celebrate Palm Sunday at home. And Nancy played on, while Michelle and Rachel edited. As Easter approached, we braved the elements and went back outside for drive-in worship. We baptized babies at the drive-in, we confirmed our youth at the drive-in, we honored our mothers at the drive-in, and we honored our fathers at the drive-in. We said goodbye to Pastor Mike and Pastor Rachel at the drive-in. And Nancy played on while Michelle kept editing videos. And Wind of the Spirit played on too. In August, we took the band on the road to Town Green for a celebration of worship. Pastor Stina preached and Amber led the liturgical dancing. As Pastor Stina settled in and began ministry at Crosswinds, regular life, regular church activities, and glimpses of our future ministry began to become visible. The future is bright as we continue to integrate all we learned during the pandemic and take our ministry forward with new and better audio, video, and recording equipment to continue to reach people both in person and online at home in worship. And Nancy plays on, the band plays on, and Stina keeps preaching, and Michelle and Amber keep editing, and God keeps leading. Thank you, Crosswinds friends, for continuing to share your faith in God by supporting this worship ministry.